Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to take a closer look at whether or not we should have a law prohibiting the eating of flesh or a law prohibiting the eating of animal products. Think about that one for a while. What would happen if they actually passed a law? You can't eat any animal products. What would happen on this planet? Well, in the Talmud, it was written that from the day the Holy Temple was destroyed, it would have been right of them to have prohibited the eating of flesh. But these rabbis got together and said, no, we thought about this a little bit, and we realized that we don't want to enact any type of law or decree if the vast majority of people can't abide by it. Otherwise, everyone gets into disrepute. And the very first thing I thought of, actually there's two things I want to comment about that. The first thing I thought of when I read that long ago was, but Socrates said that if the ideal cannot be achieved, it should still be a standard to which to aim at. But now, since then, I've read a lot of different things, and one thing I read was that the Talmud was written by 17 rabbis in Babylon during enslavement, and the purpose was to take the Torah and dilute it, so to speak. So our great books have been infiltrated. The Torah's been infiltrated. Now we got the Talmud that says it's okay to eat meat. The Bible most of us believe in and read is not Jesus' version, it's Paul's version. And the focus was not how he died, it's how he lived. And a book I finally got around to reading last year confirmed once again that I know I'm on the right path. And I've had the book for over a decade, just never got around to reading it. And the book was the Teachings of the Essenes from Enoch to the Dead Sea Scrolls. You got to read at least the first 2 chapters of that book. Blew me away. Blew me away. Basically, this book was explaining that Moses had three parts to his life, and it's true with everybody. And one of the reasons why I got real excited about this is the words they used to describe these 3 40-year periods of his life are the same exact 3 words that I used to describe the 3 stages of knowledge. The very first way I describe them. I pile drive that a bunch to make sure you understand the 3 stages of knowledge. But in this book, they use the same 3 descriptive words I use, where knowledge is acquired in the first stage, applied in the second stage, and manifested in the third. And what was so fascinating about this book is that Moses pointed out what is obvious as all get out, and that is that all of our problems can be traced back to the fact that we're not obeying laws of nature. We're violating laws of nature. And in chapter 2, they said there's one law. And it's the violation of this one law that creates all of our problems. Why? Because it goes back to the fall of mankind. You got to go back to the first cause. Most people can't do this. It's not an easy thing to do. To do it, you got to punch holes everywhere you go. There's too many holes for people to punch. I've done this before. This is the first cause. The same thing is told in this book. One law. And interestingly, Moses came to the same conclusion that I have. That's why I love this book. He knew that there are 2 main obstacles, and I talk about them all the time. Number 1 obstacle are the ignorant masses. Most people don't know the truth, and as Plato said, they act stupidly and wrongly. The truth is hard to find, so we don't have it. And the other obstacle that Moses was well aware of, beside the ignorant masses, was the arrogant rulers. So what do I always say in all of my videos? We got to go upstream individually, get reconnected. Got to find the knowledge we're missing and apply it. We don't have that knowledge of how to live. The one law. So we have to go upstream. But then we got to go downstream and deal with what these arrogant rulers have done. My little dog is getting trapped. See, let me push you back. Hang on a second. Let me put her over and put her through. There you go, girl. So, 2 obstacles. The ignorant masses, the arrogant rulers. We got to do damage control, work downstream with what these arrogant rulers have done to us. I don't care who they are. I don't want to punish anybody. That's not the objective here. We got to realize they're just a reflection of us. In fact, I find it interesting when people commit crimes. How many people commit crimes that are really original? Like, oh my God, you're the first person to ever think about killing someone. You're the first person who ever thought about raping someone. What is that telling us? These are symptoms of a sick species. We got to stop blaming and punishing the individual for acting up because we don't know how to live. We're missing the one law. So, simple solution. Should we not eat animals? I think that kind of goes against the concept of my version of utopia, which coincides kind of with what many great philosophers have said about the number of laws. The more laws there are, the more corruption there is. So I believe there should only be one law if we want utopia. I've said before in other videos if we should have a minimal biophoton level. If we had a minimal biophoton level, we would have to eat a certain percentage of raw fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. And what is that number? I don't know. Could we eat some cooked? I don't know. Would we want to? I don't think so once enough of us got reconnected. But that's something that's almost impossible to kind of comprehend, isn't it? There's no telling how we're going to look and feel. In fact, when I coach people on a solid food vacation, I always tell them, you know, let's not think about what you're going to eat afterwards. Let's wait till you see what you're missing first. And that's the problem. The ignorant masses don't know what they're missing. So they're not in a position to evaluate what they're doing and what they need to do. That's why the very first of my 3 steps that I perfected addresses that willingness issue so people can see what they're missing. And then the best way to work downstream with these arrogant rulers is undo the damage they've done. First, we start off by taking back the money supply. Remember, they're printing our money and using that to own and control everything, and they're brainwashing us. Our brains are bombarded with so much bullshit that we can't entertain the truth on certain subjects that they want us to believe a certain way. So, one law. What would it be if you had one law? Minimal biophoton level. How about what the Essenes believed? Thou shalt not kill. Don't kill man, nor beast, nor the food that goes into your mouth. That means no cooked food, no animal products. And when we do that, we don't have to be told to kill anything. We don't need 10 commandments. We don't need 7 spiritual laws. These are on our to-get list. We got to obey one law. Get reconnected. Stop cooking our food. Stop destroying the nutrient that allows us to feel one with everyone and then have all these problems. There's a root cause to every problem. And it goes back to the fact that something's missing. That's what creates fear. When we are missing a nutrient, these biophotons, every one of us knows something's not quite right. That's usually why we turn to the wrong food or sex or drugs or money or relationships to try to fill that void. What's missing, it's on a subatomic level. Dr. Pop found it. It's a biophoton. We're missing those. And I coined that condition hypoheliosis, an abnormally low biophoton level. This is what creates fear that I described yesterday. And fear destroys our ability to think clearly. So this is one of the huge obstacles we're up against. So how do we deal with fear? Well, we get reconnected. How about our need for power? It's the people who are most fearful are the ones who have a need for power. So this is how we solve that problem. My dog is getting tangled up again. I think she can get out of this one. I think. Yeah, she'll get out of it. Or will she? Hang on. that silly little pupper. Okay, so 2 things we have to do. Upstream, downstream. Arrogant masses, arrogant rulers. Ignorant masses, arrogant rulers. Got to go upstream, get reconnected. Got to go downstream, deal with the damage. How have we been damaged? We've been damaged personally, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, psychologically. Remember, the people who rule the world are psychopaths. And if you watch this documentary, Defense Against a Psychopath, they explain there are 6 types of psychopath, and one of them are secondary psychopaths. We can become a secondary psychopath in a lot of ways. We can be abused psychologically. So if you're a psychopath, please don't have any more children. Don't have any children, because you're going to make a psychopath out of them if they're not born that way already. And we can actually be damaged. You can have a brain injury and our frontal lobe doesn't work anymore. And interestingly, that's what happens to crackheads, crack addicts. Crack cocaine damages our frontal lobe, then it doesn't allow them to make good decisions. So that's kind of what we're up against as a species. We're addicted to cooked food, and it's just like crack cocaine. Because we too aren't using our frontal lobe, because we love cooked food. We're addicted to cooked food, and all good addicts run to denial. That's a defense mechanism we use for many reasons. One is to protect our pleasures. So this is what happens with most people, is when they're told what to do, they don't want to do it, and they don't entertain the idea. It's worse than having a knowledge filter where you don't want anything to come in that might threaten your existing paradigm. This is like you type out the information, instead of hitting the enter button, you hit the delete button. You have a mental processing error. This is what we're up against. We are a species that's in denial. We can't acknowledge the things we have to change. We got to correct the fall of mankind. That's what a solid food vacation does. You can do a water fast, a juice fast. If you do a water fast, you have to be careful. If you have environmental toxins in you, they might damage you on their way of being cleansed. And you have to be able to afford a lot of time to do this. For every week or day you fast, you'll need a week or a day to recuperate. So a 3-week water fast is a 6-week vacation from life. And then you're also not addressing the other group of needs we have, because once again, we're damaged. Remember, we're individually damaged, but then the environment's damaged also. So we got another group of needs. We're not getting some of the things we're supposed to be getting. We're not living where we're supposed to live. So we're not getting the sunshine we're supposed to be getting. So we might need to get some of that vitamin D from some of our food, our supplements. And then again, then there's society. That's a big part of the problem. Remember, Moses knew the obstacles he was up against. The ignorant masses, the arrogant rulers, don't want things to change. And what's the solution? It's a bottom-up solution. We have to take responsibility. We got to keep doing what we're doing on my channel. Keep testing an idea as time has come. Share the message. Give me thumbs ups. Try to help my channel grow. I'm thinking sometime today I should hit that 10,000 subscriber mark. I'm real close to it right now. And I want to thank all you guys. You guys are the ones that are making this happen. You're the ones who are sharing this. You're part of the hero's journey. This is what heroes do. They accept the mission. They prove it to themselves. They see the transformation. They make it the easiest transition possible. Every other transition is going to be a struggle, especially if you still add the cooked food in, because if you go to better bad choices, now you got new bad choices you got to get rid of. More things you're going to get addicted to. So the best way to do this is to go on a solid food vacation. That way you're starting the hero's journey, then you continue on, keep watching my videos, make your own videos, watch other videos. There's a lot of great people out there with a lot of great information. Question everything. Not everyone's 100%. I'm sure I'm probably off somewhere here and there, and I'm willing to change when I can find a better way, or if I can find an error in anything I'm doing. I want to be the best I can be. I want to provide the best information for you guys. And I know a lot of what I say challenges y'all's belief system quite a bit. I know that. And you're going to think, okay, I'll accept everything except that. Well, question all those things you don't accept, because there's a good likelihood that you might not be right. So it's time to get excited, my friends. It's time to continue on the hero's journey and doing what you're doing. Help me grow. I know why I've grown. I can owe my growth to people like the Vegetable Police. Man, that really got my channel going. And I also saw the effects from the fruit festivals in UK and Woodstock. At that time, my channel really took off. So I think there might be a little dip right now unless I do something extra to promote this channel. We gotta get this information out to the masses. I don't care who does it. Anyone can take this information and go run with it. Please share this knowledge. Help put an end to the needless suffering on this planet. Realize that the masses are ignorant. Realize that the masses aren't going to understand a raw vegan diet message. And remember, the starch solution and even the raw till 4 solution is not good enough to get people's attention. And even the raw till 4 in the starch solution, not enough people are going to be willing to do it. But we can get enough people that will be willing to do a solid food vacation and do a juice fast. And the results are so much faster. And it's more obvious. I mean, when you start seeing the serpent come out of you, and you start bumping up your biophotons, and you start realizing that there is another level for us to go. That life is an illusion on just about every level there is. And it's time we got to rise above the ideas of the time. It's time we got to stop gliding with the stream of the crowd. It's time to test an idea's time has come. If you haven't watched the Deborah Duncan show, please watch that. If you haven't listened to the Dr. Roby interview, please listen to the Dr. Roby interview. It was on day 21. You could hear the excitement in his voice. And then I have a seminar on how to do this, and I got a lot of follow-up videos. I'm going to be doing more videos. I need your support. I need your help. Share the message. Do your own videos, and you guys are doing that. In fact, some of you guys are just going above and beyond what I was expecting you guys to do, and you're doing it, and that's exactly what we should be doing. I love what you guys are doing out there. I just can't say enough. And again, I'm pretty sure today I should get to that 10,000 subscriber number, and I hope to see 1 million really soon. I want to see 100 million on there, and only because I know that if that many people see this, guess what? We can reach the tipping point. Things can change so fast. We'll look back in a decade or so in horror and in disbelief at where we were and what we were doing and how we couldn't figure out there was such a simple solution. One law, minimal biphoton level. One law, don't kill. What about love? Let's have love be our law. No, that's on our to-get list, not our to-do list. When we obey this one law, guess what one of the side effects are? We love everything. We share. We feel one with everyone. We want everyone around us to be happy. You see, we keep focusing on what's up here in the plus C box. Oh, we're loving and kind and generous. We've got all these great acts of love and kindness that will eventually be the benefit of. But how do we get there? That's where we want to go, so we can use that for motivation. But what we got to do is we got to make a vertical move, find the knowledge we're missing up here in the plus A box of knowledge, and apply it. And there's a lot of obstacles, 55 altogether. Just deal with one of them. Piece 54.5, that's where we're willing to apply what we know, or we can test an idea's time has come. You don't even have to believe it, just do it. And when you do, woo-hoo, you're in for a treat.